When a president of the United States uses the words nuclear testing, the entire world pauses. Recently, former President Donald Trump claimed that the United States should resume testing because other countries are testing their nuclear programs. And he named Russia, China, North Korea, and Pakistan. That single statement triggered alarm bells, especially in India, South Asia, and among global strategic analysts. But here's the real question. Are these countries actually testing nuclear weapons? Or is something far more subtle and far more dangerous happening? Because there is a huge difference between nuclear weapon testing and testing the systems that deliver nuclear weapons. And today's video will explain that difference and why it matters more than ever. Stay with me, because once you understand this, you'll see modern war, deterrence, and power politics very differently. To understand why Trump's statement caused global concern, we must go back to the Cold War, when nuclear thinking, or what strategists call nuclear theology, was born. After 1945, the world entered a new era where war was no longer just about soldiers and tanks. It was about survival of civilization. Two superpowers dominated, the United States, the Soviet Union, and both were armed with weapons capable of destroying cities in minutes. From that moment, one truth became clear. Nuclear war is not an extension of conventional war. It is a completely different category of conflict. That realization shaped everything that followed. And today's video will explain that difference and why it matters more than ever. Stay with me, because once you understand this, you'll see modern war, deterrence, and power politics very differently. By the 1950s, the United States faced a serious problem. The Soviet Union had more soldiers, more tanks, more artillery, larger conventional forces overall. The Americans knew they could not match the Soviets man for man in Europe. So they chose a different path. Instead of matching numbers, they introduced a terrifying idea. Use low-yield tactical nuclear weapons on the battlefield. The logic was strange, but powerful. The idea was, tactical nuclear weapons would stop a Soviet conventional advance, and escalation would deter the Soviets from going further, because America had more strategic nuclear weapons. This became America's first offset strategy. It was never tested, thankfully, but it shaped decades of military thinking. By the 1970s, the situation changed again. The Soviets had matched America in strategic nuclear weapons, built their own tactical nuclear arsenal, improved their conventional technology, so nuclear threats no longer gave the US a clear advantage. America needed a new offset. This time, the answer was revolutionary. Long-range, precision, non-nuclear weapons. This meant precision-guided munitions, space-based surveillance, network-centric warfare. The world saw this clearly during the 1991 Gulf War. Shock, awe, and total dominance without nuclear use. And one key lesson emerged. Conventional deterrence and nuclear deterrence must be built separately. One cannot substitute for the other. This lesson still applies today. Here's where things get truly interesting. American military thinking traditionally recognizes only two levels of war: tactics, frontline fighting; strategy, political military decision-making. The Soviets, however, introduced something new: the operational level of war. This sits between tactics and strategy. At this level, the goal is not to win battles, but to collapse the enemy's entire campaign. The Soviets believed deep strikes, integrated fires, rapid maneuver special forces behind enemy lines could unravel an enemy without needing nuclear weapons. This concept proved successful in World War II, and it changed warfare forever. The Americans believed nuclear war could be limited and controlled. The Soviets strongly disagreed. Their view was simple and brutal. Once nuclear weapons are used, of any yield, escalation cannot be controlled. So instead of tactical nukes, they focused on non-nuclear systems. deep operational strikes, capabilities that produced nuclear-like effects without nuclear use. This created a buffer layer between conventional war and nuclear war. And this idea still shapes modern military doctrines. Fast forward to today. Russia has introduced hypersonic glide vehicles, hypersonic cruise missiles, nuclear-powered underwater systems, extended-range strategic delivery platforms. China has done the same, and more. In 2021, China tested a fractional orbital bombardment system, shocking Western defense planners. This means weapons that operate in near-space, unpredictable trajectories, new delivery layers beyond traditional triads. This is not nuclear testing. This is delivery system evolution, the operational layer becoming more sophisticated. Now let's address Pakistan, because this is where South Asian viewers must pay attention. Pakistan and India both historically focused on tactics strategy, but recent developments suggest a shift. Pakistan has demonstrated strong multi-domain air operations, established an Army Rocket Force Command, publicly stated this force uses conventional missiles only. This is crucial. It creates a clear operational layer between conventional conflict and nuclear escalation, exactly what Soviet theory proposed decades ago. Add to this growing sea-based deterrence missile system testing, not nuclear warhead testing, strategic support from China, and one conclusion becomes obvious. Pakistan has no strategic incentive to conduct nuclear tests. Doing so would damage its global standing and relations with major powers. So why did Trump speak about nuclear testing so openly? Most likely reasons: domestic political messaging, projecting strength during great power competition, blurring the line between system testing and nuclear testing. Even US officials later clarified that what was ordered involved system and delivery testing, not nuclear detonations. Ambiguity in this case was a strategic tool. The real story here is not nuclear explosions. The real story is this: modern warfare is being reshaped at the operational level. Hypersonics, space, precision, and non-nuclear deterrence dominate nuclear weapons, remain political tools, not battlefield solutions. Understanding this difference is essential, especially for India, Pakistan, and the wider region. If you found this analysis valuable, like the video, subscribe for deep strategic breakdowns. Comment your thoughts. Do you agree with this assessment? Because in today's world, knowledge is deterrence.